Hello guys, welcome back to my channel here, this Page of Fame. I've been so happy to be back. I know this computer situation has been crazy. It's been hurting me in YouTube and I'm ready to get back into it. So today is going to be a sports video today. I'm going to be talking about particularly basketball. I'm going to be talking about another prospect coming out here who just came off of a pretty good game here in Cam Reddish, scoring over 16 points once again. Reason why I'm talking about Cam Reddish is that I last talked about John Morant and how he's a top 5 pick, top 3 for me. Definitely a lock to be in that category just because he's a great point guard that they're in this class where there close to is none other than him and Darius Garland. I wouldn't really look too forward to a point guard in this draft. But Cam Reddish is another player who could be all worldly, just depending on what NBA team gets him and what they put around him. I would say the better portion of his college basketball career so far is that he's underperformed and underachieved in terms of how many points he scored and ability to just shoot off the dribble a little bit and catch and shoot moments. He's just been unreliable, to say the least, at that position. But honestly, I still believe in Cam Reddish just because of the factor of I saw that Florida State game where he dropped like the last 6 or 8 points. That game hadn't got him to win the game. I mean, he went crazy in that game. And this past game, him and RJ just went at each other in the second half. It was just a flow for those two. Zion Williamson just kind of stood in the background of that time, letting his teammates really do their thing. And it was a great thing to see all the big three really just go out there and do their thing like how they were supposed to be all year. But things happen. Like Cam Reddish couldn't foresee Zion just being this great. He could have seen RJ, but he definitely didn't see his role just being a spot up shooter and being the shooter of the team. He maybe thought that he was going to be more of the creator and distributor, while RJ was going to be more of a shooter, and Zion would be obviously the dunker, and Trey Jones being the assisting guy who just plays hard defense, which he's done. Nothing, no knock against him. Trey Jones is probably a player that probably does need another year. Reason why is because his shooting ability is just not there, and he's not a slam dunk first round prospect that I would want currently. He just has too many flaws offensively for me to really consider him one of the bigger names, especially for point guards. I think you should definitely wait a year, get better, get stronger. Definitely is a great defender. Just needs to do better with the offensive flow and reading it better and knowing who to feed at the right time. But back to Cameron Reddish. Cameron Reddish is just he is one great player when his motor is on. And you could see that if you saw any of his high school tapes, highlights. He plays very well if he's the main focal point of the offense. And at times at Duke, he has been, and that's why you see him flourish. But at times he hasn't, and he's been just relegated to sitting in a corner. And really all you can really do there is just shoot the three, or maybe take off the dribble and penetrate. The problem is when he tries to penetrate, you have Zion there. So it's kind of hard just for him to get really into that lane because then there's no spacing then at that point, and it becomes really clustered, and all they have to do is just collapse on them, and it makes it almost impossible to get off a good shot. So that's why Cam Reddish has to just constantly just be in the corner or having to take that shot instead of going in. But he would be great on the Chicago Bulls, who doesn't have a person who does that, who goes into the paint, who can just pass it from inside there and score in there very well. He is definitely somebody who would be great for that system, and I think the Bulls, wherever they end up, should definitely look at Cameron Reddish as their player, as to John Morant. John Morant doesn't have enough defensively in a team that already doesn't play enough defense. John Morant is too skinny. He's too skinny. Not saying that you have to be big like LeBron. I'm saying he's just too skinny for NBA physicality like a Trey Young. He's gonna take a while before he gets that great, but his upside is high. But again, his defense is not nowhere near there, and I don't think he's gonna develop a great defensive habits like a Patrick Beverly or somebody or Chris Dunn, which you already have in your corner, and you're gonna be able to sign him probably for less than $7 million. So I would try to resign him, put Cam Reddish there, have Zach LaVine, have Lauri Markkanen, have Wendell Carter, and have that team and grow and grow and grow, and just see what it would be. I would definitely give him like a 2-year scale just to see what he would be like. He reminded me a lot of Brandon Ingram. If Britt Ingram had these other two players with him, players who's going to shoot a lot and really do flourish, but you saw Brandon Ingram couldn't flourish because he had constantly other players who were always there trying to push the ball, was trying to shoot the ball more, and stuff like that. So that always really hurt Brandon Ingram. And I think with Cam Reddish, they need to do the opposite. They need to make sure, hey, Zach LaVine, you shoot. All Martin, you know you shoot. Wendell Carter, you get inside and you just bang down low. Chris Dunn, you just set up the offense. Cam Reddish, you go do what you do. And I think that way it would be a lot better just because Cam Reddish can do what he wants, could move the ball around, could definitely initiate offense, can definitely score in multiple different ways, especially with his mid-range pull-up. Definitely has a great mid-range pull-up, has a good form, has the ability to project as a good three-point shooter, but right now he's just not that threat consistently down the floor, and he's definitely a player that just needs to get into the lanes more, just needs to get a little bit more physical, just to get his juices going, get his vibe there, and really put it on for effect and on paper, and so you can really see what he can do with the ball. He does a great job of handling the ball. His biggest issue is definitely knowing when to shoot and when to take it in the lane, and that is something that obviously he's just gonna have to work on. Defensively, he's extremely long. I think there's gonna be a big problem there. He's just needs to get a little bit of weight on him, and away he goes. Hopefully the Chicago Bulls definitely take him. He'd be great for their system and a great look for them. He's definitely a player that they could definitely help Lauri Markkanen and Zach LaVine out with, along with Wendell. Alright guys, so that was my video for today. Have a nice day. Hope you guys like it and subscribe. Remember, high reviews today.